Welcome back, disgruntled sports fans. We have a major announcement in the NFL. We have some new rule changes that are going to be happening to our precious pretend football. Oh no, I hope they don't ruin the game. As if it hasn't been desecrated enough already. As if the NFL hasn't completely ruined the sport of football. Now they have announced, are you ready for this? New kickoff rules. They are going to adopt, apparently, the XFL style kickoff rules. And not only that, new tackling rules. They're now no longer going to allow players to wrap up and use their body weight to make a tackle. Yes, I just said that. So it seems the NFL is going to go out of their way to change the rules to further hide the fact that they are rigging and scripting these games, of course. Let me go ahead and show you exactly what the news is saying and what the announcement is.
We turn now to several major rule changes in the NFL designed to increase action and keep players safe. Trevor Alt is here with all the details. Good morning, Trevor.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, so a lot of people for the first time are hearing about what's called a hip drop tackle. It's a technique that even some professional football players say they had never heard of. And we're going to show it to you because league officials say this is an especially dangerous play to the point they have now banned it, along with seriously overhauling the kickoff.
Okay, so the rule changes, they claim, are to increase action and player safety. So they're doing it to keep the players safe, supposedly. So this guy also claims that they're going to ban the hip drop tackle. Have you guys ever heard of a hip drop tackle? And he said even professionals have never heard of this. Yeah, that's because that's a new thing that you guys just made up. When you wrap up a guy and you use your body weight to tackle him, that's called making a tackle. And now they're going to say that all of the sudden, when you wrap up and use your body weight to make a tackle, this is called a hip drop tackle. And now all of a sudden it's dangerous and they need to ban it. Okay, I already see where this is going, but let's go ahead and let them explain where this is going, and then I'll tell you where it's really going.
This morning, the NFL rolling out new rule changes aiming to protect player safety, though some players say they're out of bounds. League owners voting unanimously to ban what's known as a hip drop tackle, like the one seen here, where a player wraps up the runner and drops their weight onto the runner's upper legs to bring them down.
Okay, how are you supposed to make a tackle if you can't use your body weight after you wrap up? So you're telling me you're allowed to wrap up while making a tackle, but then you can't use your body weight to bring the guy to the ground? That's the whole point of tackling a guy, is to bring him to the ground. You have to have your body weight go to the ground in order to bring the man down to the ground. In order to bring the ball carrier to the ground, the person making the tackle also has to go to the ground, which would include their body weight. How in the world is somebody supposed to make a tackle without using their helmet and without using their body weight? So now, when you see two guys running at each other, you see a ball carrier running, and then you see a tackler coming up to make the tackle. Now, when he misses the tackle on purpose, they have a perfect excuse. Well, you're not allowed to tackle in the NFL anymore, so that's why he missed the tackle. So now you'll see a guy grab a hold of some guy's legs and then just let go and let him score a touchdown. And fans will be like, well, the defender tried his best to make a tackle, but since he's not allowed to use his body weight, he just simply wasn't able to make the tackle. So now they have this perfect excuse for every missed tackle attempt. Oh, well, the NFL changed the rules, so you're not allowed to tackle anymore. You have to try and make a tackle without using your body weight or your helmet.
League officials say last year there were 230 of these types of tackles, leading to 15 players missing playing time from injuries. That's at least 20 times the rate of typical tackles.
This is elimination of a swivel technique. The runner is purely defenseless.
All of the sudden, in the 2023-2024 season, they realized hip drop tackles are a problem. It wasn't a problem in the 60s or the 70s or the 80s or the 90s or the 2000s, the 2010s, 2020. They weren't talking about but now in 2024, they need to make this rule change because hip drop tackles are supposedly so dangerous. I'm not buying that at all. I think what's really going on is there was a fella, me, who pointed out that the players are playing pretend football, phony fake football. And I pointed out how they're purposely missing tackles. And my channel made this subject of the NFL playing pretend football go viral. And so now they're creating rules so that they have a perfect excuse for when guys like me point out that they're missing tackles on purpose. They can say, oh no, it's because of the rule changes. You're not allowed to use your helmet. You're not allowed to grab a guy and use your body weight to bring him down. So the reason you're seeing these missed tackles is because of the rule changes. Nice try, NFL. What are you going to do? Turn the whole league into flag football as long as I keep pointing out that the product on the field is fake? Yes, that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to turn this into flag football. These rule changes are one step closer to flag football. The NFL will slowly turn into, or quickly turn into, the NFFL, National Flag Football League. Coming soon, whether you like it or not. And I told you so. I predicted that this was going to happen. Don't believe me? Just watch.
Many current and former stars say the rule goes too far. Former Defensive Player of the Year J.J. Watt tweeting, just fast forward to the belts with flags on them. Just fast forward to the belts with flags on them. Just fast forward to the belts with flags on them.
J.J. Watt says just fast forward to the belts with flags on them. What did I just tell you? The NFL is going to turn into flag football, whether you like it or not. The first player who's going to get to wear the flags in an official NFL game, a season game, is going to be the quarterbacks. I'm telling you. The quarterbacks, under the guise of player safety, the NFL is going to want to keep those quarterbacks safe because they're so precious, right? So they're going to put flags on the quarterbacks first. They'll probably do it in preseason. Put flags on the quarterbacks in preseason so that quarterbacks can play preseason football without fear of getting hurt. You don't want to lose your star quarterback in a meaningless preseason game, right? So let's put flags on the quarterbacks in preseason. And then the next season, that worked so well keeping the players safe. Nobody got injured. As far as quarterbacks playing in the preseason, injuries are down basically 100% as far as quarterbacks playing in the preseason due to our new awesome flag football rules. So we're going to implement flags on the quarterbacks throughout the entire season and the playoffs and the Super Bowl. The other players will still have to tackle each other. But the quarterbacks are so special You know, they're the leaders out there. They are the most important player in the game. So we have to keep the quarterbacks safe. So we're going to put flags on the quarterbacks so that we don't see, you know, a situation like where when Tom Brady went down with an injury for an entire season. We don't want to see high-profile players like Pat Mahomes going down for an entire season. So we're going to let the quarterbacks wear flags. And then, fast forward another few seasons, all the players are wearing flags. It's going to happen whether you like it or not. And people have told me, Jake, they're not going to turn the NFL into flag football. Nobody will watch. Oh, yeah? They're going to turn it into flag football, and people are still going to watch. Maybe not as many, but fanboys will still watch flag football. Pretend flag football, mind you.
But another rule change may be even more radical. Positioning on kickoffs will be drastically different. The old way looked like this.
Ball in the air.
The new way will look like this, with only the kicker and returners being allowed to move until the ball is caught.
So they're going to adopt XFL-style kickoff rule, where all the players line up on the 30 and 35, the kickoff return team and the kickoff team. And when the kicker kicks off the ball, only the returner and kicker can move until the returner catches the ball. So when you see these leagues like the XFL, USFL, UFL, what have you, these are basically like testing leagues for new rules for the NFL. So they can use these alternative leagues, which, whether you believe it or not, are affiliated with the NFL. And the NFL can use these leagues like the XFL and their stupid rules. And then they can adopt those stupid rules as their own, right? So now the NFL, I would say, is damn near unrecognizable from what it used to be in the 70s and 80s and 90s. I mean, these new rule changes that happen each year, I don't even understand how a fanboy can accept this and still watch and root for their team. I mean, even the most diehard of fanboys has to hate these rule changes. But they're still going to buy tickets, still going to buy merch, still going to show up and get drunk and watch this crap.
Reducing violent high-speed collisions and increasing exciting play.
What the league is hoping to accomplish is that the kickoff becomes more a part of the game, and the league believes it will actually be a safer play.
And this change to kickoffs is just a one-year trial for now. It's possible next year it could go back or it could be tweaked even further. It is
a one-year trial, and then they could flip it back. In my opinion, if you change the rules constantly to the game, it makes the game more confusing and harder to enjoy, even for diehard fans who think it's real. So the NFL changing their rules up like this, they're ruining their own game very quickly. And I'm guessing this next season, even some of the most diehard fanboys might be jumping off the NFL train. Because at this point, they're changing how the game is played so much. It's going to start to resemble something closer to an XFL game rather than an NFL game, right?
As part of that delicate balance to try to reduce the risk of football, but also keeping football.
Well, good luck. I mean, part of it, the kickoff was such a big part of the excitement. A big play could happen. I think that kind of changes, but I understand that one for safety. The tackling one is the difficult one to me. I don't quite understand how you're going to call that or not call that. I don't think they're the definitive way to do it.
Yeah.
The horse collar, yeah. This one.
So here you have former phony football player Michael Strahan, who played in phony fixed pretend games as well, right? And he's here saying how he doesn't like this new rule. And it's funny because now this guy, you know, he's a talking head for the mainstream media. And even he's basically saying, yeah, good luck with this. So even the former phony football players can't help but talk a little bit of smack about these new terrible rules. And I also want to show you guys that I was pointing out this last season how the players were already starting to wear flags, basically, during the games. They have these long straps hanging out of the back of their pants. So I showed this last year. Players have these long straps dangling out of their pants. Not every player on the field, but a lot of the players on the field would have these, what look like flags or belts or straps hanging out. And I pointed these out during the season. Hey, look, the players look like they're wearing flags. And you know what fanboys would say to me? Those aren't flags. Those are towels. And I would say, no, those aren't towels. Those are long little strips of thin material. It looks exactly like a flag or a strap. And fanboys would argue, no, you're crazy. Those are towels. And so I know what a towel looks like. I take a shower and dry off with a towel. I'm sure you guys know what a towel looks like. Are you really going to sit there and tell me that this is a long, thin towel? Now, I have seen guys with towels hanging out of their pants, and I know the difference when a guy has a towel hanging out of his pants or when a guy has a long strap hanging out of his pants. So when J.J. Watt says fast forward to them wearing belts with flags, they're already preconditioning you with belts and flags. They're wearing belts and flags and straps hanging out, and this is preconditioning. They're getting you used to the idea of the players playing flag football. Whether you like it or not, whether you want it or not, the players are wearing these straps not for their own benefit, because what benefit is there for this 49ers player to have this long strap? You're just giving someone something to grab onto. So there's no benefit for a guy to have a strap hanging out of his pants in a game. Oh, it's cool, man. It's a hip new style that all the cool players use. No, not buying it. And the NFL has strict rules for the uniforms not to be altered and what you are and aren't allowed to wear. But they allow the players to wear these long straps, these flag-looking things, for a reason. And the reason is conditioning for when they turn the game into actual flag football. And another thing I wanted to point out, I got to thinking, okay, if they change the kickoff to XFL-style kickoff, where none of the players are allowed to move until the receiver catches the ball, then what happens to onside kick? So basically, I'm going to show you guys an XFL kickoff, and this is what the NFL is going to adopt. So the NFL is adopting this, where the players line up on the 30 and 35, and they're not allowed to move until the receiver catches the ball. So once the receiver catches the ball, then all these guys can move. And watch this awesome, exciting kickoff return. Wow, that was so exciting! I'm so glad they're going to increase the action by changing the kickoff to that. So basically, if they want to rig a kickoff return for a touchdown, they'll just have all the players run into each other and block each other just perfectly. And then you'll see a guy shoot through for a touchdown. So they can easily rig touchdown returns using this style of kickoff. And so I was wondering, okay, well then what happens to onside kicks? So when a team is down multiple scores in the fourth quarter, how are they going to come back in a fake phony game without onside kick? Because with these rules, you wouldn't be able to do an onside kick. So I looked up what they're going to do about onside kicks, and this is really ridiculous. This takes the cake. So as far as surprise onside kicks go, you're not going to be able to surprise anyone with an onside kick anymore. NFL teams will only be able to declare they want to pursue an onside kick in the fourth quarter of games. They can do it twice. If you're trailing and want to kick a traditional onside kick, you have the right. So you have to ask the referee, hey, referee, we would like to use one of our 2 traditional onside kicks. And the other team knows the onside kick is coming, so there's no more surprise onside kicks. So there used to be, a team would surprise the other team with an onside kick, coming out of halftime or something like that. Now it can only happen in the fourth quarter, and you have to declare that you're going for a traditional onside kick. Wow! Cool rule changes, dude. So I already know that the games are fake, phony, and pretend. So this is just basically proving what I've already said all along. And they're basically going to try and cover up the fake tackling with their new hip drop tackling ban. Yeah, okay. They're just making their own product even worse. So I don't understand how at this point any fanboy is going to root for a product that doesn't even resemble the product that it used to be. But at any rate, they are going to turn the NFL into flag football, whether you want it or not. And I told you so. I told you that this was going to happen. So thank you, NFL, for proving me right. All right, disgruntled sports fans, I was giving you this update as a special treat in the off season. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you all next time in the next NFL rigged video, whenever that happens to be. All right, take care. Peace.